actually wanted to document today for a different reason. I don't know much about tides and all kinds of, I don't know, season changes and weather, although I am an enthusiast, but, today something is different. Today the tide is coming in very low and a lot closer. Like, we're talking like 100 meters closer, which is, I don't know anything about feet, so just look what 10 meters is. I don't know what it means, but it really, there are some cases of drownings in Israel, and this really feels like one of those days where people drown. Because if you don't go to the beach very often, you don't realize how close the tide comes in. And the water is really, really shallow to the point where, like, there's like 10 meters that it's just, they're just covered by very low waves. Like, I'm talking an inch of height, something like that. See, I know a little bit about inches. And you need to go in further if you want to get into the sea, and it doesn't look very deep because, like, let me show you. See, those are the waves. And when you get in, you feel like you need to get in deeper because you're not covered. And usually before I start vlogging or before I like meditate here or something like that, I just get into the water and get myself wet, and then I come back and I dry off. I don't know, it's really good for the skin and really good for the soul and for sanity. And today I went in, and I knew it was going to happen, so I was ready for it, even though I'm not a swimmer. Like, I guess I'm too thin to be a swimmer, I don't know. But like, I went into to just a little tiny bit, like my legs were covered, and then suddenly a wave came, and it was really shallow, and it knocked me over. Like, a tsunami is a stupid word to use in this case, but if you consider that it knocked me over and I wasn't even covered up to my knees at that point. Like, right now I'm sitting very far away from the sea, and I keep looking into the horizon because all the waves they just keep moving. They just don't stop. And at this point my fear is that they will cover my bag or my towel or something like that. But something about today is, by the way, September 23rd, 2021, is different. I don't know if it's the season's changing, maybe there's a storm coming. It felt like rain this morning. Like, it didn't rain, but it felt like something was about to come. So whatever it is, whether I'm a prophet or just someone who like senses temperatures now, I don't know. I don't know. I said it first or something. I predicted it. I call it. Actually, I recorded 2 videos yesterday. One was very short and the other one was long, and YouTube didn't let me upload it because maybe I was uploading too many videos on the same day or something. And then I figured I'll censor it and I'll start over because it really wasn't important. And I wasn't even giving any updates about Israel or the COVID thing or anything like that. So I was like, maybe it's a little bit further into the realm of conspiracy, so screw it. And today I do feel like I slept on it some more, and I really want to share this story. It feels really stupid. It feels like it's in the realm of the leave Britney alone thing. If you remember Chris, what was his last name? I don't remember. But, I got my first red pill that I took was in 2015. And since then, like Michael Malice says, take 1 red pill, not the whole bottle. And I didn't understand it. Like, I understood it as a joke, but now that the red pills just keep coming, and like you realized that your academy was lying to you, then you realized that the government was lying to you, then you realized that, it wasn't just one party that was lying to you, it was both parties that were lying to you. Oh wait, the media that was hunting Netanyahu just like they were hunting Trump, they had they had stuff that was a lot scarier than what they were putting out there to hunt them down. So, and the reason they didn't publish stories about it back then which is he experimented on 500,000 babies between 2011 and 2015 with a jab called Cybivac, which then Israel used to promote this jab because they denied any damage was done to the babies. Look it up. It's about the hepatitis B jab. And then when it reached the rest of the world, it got recalled because the no damage turned out to be very much damage. Please look it up. If I'm not lazy, I'll post it in the description. If I'm lazy, I don't know. Don't judge me. Today is a weird day. So basically, I lost my train of thought, and I'm trying to make up for it. Oh yeah. So back when I was still almost completely blue-pilled, I don't even remember if I cared who the prime minister was. I was really apolitical. It was about 2012? I don't remember. I was watching American Idol, and Adam Lambert was supposed to be the winner. Like, I was a huge fan. I don't know if he likes conspiracy theorists as his fan base, but yeah, I was completely smitten. And when I learned that he didn't win, like, I cried my eyes out like a stupid fangirl. And then when I heard that he got a deal with to tour with Queen, I was like, oh my God, lightning struck twice. They're gonna do this. I was like, if they ever come to Israel, or if I'm ever abroad, like when they're performing, I will go for sure. Like I was a Celine Dion girl, but like I was also an Aerosmith fan, which their album tracks don't sound like their video tracks. Please buy 9 Lives. It was the first rock album I ever bought, and it changed my life. Like I used my allowance to buy the CD. That's how old I am. I'm the 1984 generation, literally this time. So again, getting sidetracked. Basically, what I wanted to say is that I got a book on Audible that was recommended to me on an online argument. Like we were just talking in the comments, and we were talking about how Fauci had botched the AIDS response, and someone told me, do you know that this thing is invented? It's completely made up. It's crap. And I'm like, okay, I understand that I'm in the group of I don't know, conspiracy theorists, but this one is a little too far. But, you know, I wanted to be a good girl because we were all being demonized. And I said, fine, you know what? If you really want to send me some info, send it to me. I'll probably ignore it, but send it to me anyway. I want to see it and all that. And he linked me to a video of Carrie Mullis. And then it hit me that, like, the guy died before 2020, let's call it that. And everything he said about the PCR tests, it actually was talking about the virus that affected same-sex attracted people of the male species. I don't know how to say it without getting banned. And so I read the book. I'll link to it in the description, by the way. Its foreword is written by Carrie Mullis and written by Peter Duisberg. I don't agree with everything it says, but wow, a lot of it makes so much sense. And what I also didn't know about cancer before, like, I got diagnosed with it, is that many people die from the treatment, not from the disease, long before the disease gets to them. Like, read this book because it talks about all the symptoms and everything they were showing us in, like, the band played on or in the real videos. And it explains all the symptoms, and it also explains why the people who died looked the way they looked. And it wasn't necessarily the virus, it was mostly the treatment for the virus. So the reason I'm talking about it is because, like, 3 days ago, I was watching Queen and Adam Lambert, and the whole memorial for Freddie Mercury was, like, really powerful, and I'm sitting there and enjoying the music like it's pre-1984, you know. And then I'm like, holy crap, they killed him. I don't know how many of you knew this, but I didn't for sure. Like, I grew up believing in all of this stuff, and when you go back and re-examine old notions and suddenly you realize that everything you were told is a lie, I mean, I knew this, but it's a very powerful experience once you go one by one, like one star who died, or one, I don't know, friend. I don't wish on anyone seeing a friend die of a debilitating disease, but you know what I mean. Lost my train of thought again. Oh, so imagine this for a moment. It's now 2021, and there's a virus. And in order to treat this virus, they need to stop it from replicating inside of your cells. And so instead of like talking about I hoard pectin, or what do you call it, Hyraxes for a queen, and mink for treatment, what they say is that they will basically target the new cells from growing so that the virus doesn't replicate itself. So basically they will give you chemotherapy and radiation for your body to stop making new cells so that the virus stops replicating itself. Doesn't it sound like the stupidest thing you've ever heard? Like treating someone for a virus by destroying your healthy cells, all of them. Like full body radiation, you know? And then you look back and you realize that's what they were doing to the AIDS virus. And it's mind-boggling. Like, this is what they told us. And they were telling us that people were dying of the virus when they were actually, most of them, dying from the treatment. So Freddie Mercury was receiving radiation at 5 a.m. in the hospital, and then he would go record. That's taken from their archives and from their documentaries about his life, you know? It's just mind-boggling. There's no other word for it. And here's another fun fact that you should fact check me on, because it's been a while since I looked it up again. But the drug they were giving these patients was called AZT. This is not the fact check one. This is actually real. And the reason they were giving it to them is because, actually, I'll go back a little bit. They were starting to give it to cancer patients in its first generation, and they realized that it was such a bad chemotherapy that it was killing the cancer patients long before they would see any benefits. And I mean, I literally went through the easiest form of chemotherapy for 9 months, and I felt like I was gonna die every single day. I couldn't absorb food, I couldn't look at food, I couldn't like get out of bed, I needed to use the bathroom every 5 seconds. Like, it's no fun. And imagine then people getting a worse chemotherapy than that and dying from it, which happens a lot more than you think. To that, I actually lost a friend, by the way. And then they decided to ban this drug. And a few years later, they're like going to go, you know what, we're not going to give it to people who are already dying of cancer, but let's give it to someone who has a virus and see what happens. And this was Fauci. So the tidbit that I wanted to talk about is that AZT is a patent drug by GlaxoSmithKline, and the thing I want you to fact check me on, because I'm not sure, it's been a while since I saw this, I'm pretty sure they merged with Pfizer a few years ago. Just look it up. It's just really interesting to see that all these amazing little companies that pay very little severance packages for people who never got hurt by anything they ever made, especially not in Africa, especially not simple antibiotics or heart valves and stuff like that. It's very interesting how they all like each other and love merging with each other and stuff like that. So it's a weird little story on a weird little day. And I'll try to, if I think about it, if it comes up in my brain when I'm uploading this video, I will probably post a few links in the description, as always. But it's just worth mentioning that it's just a random thought on a weird day. The waves are coming to kill me. Yep. Yeah, I'm drenched. At least the sea has good timing. Thank you, Mediterranean Sea. And my bag is waterproof. I don't know about the sound, but at least the bag is waterproof. So this is a good place to end this video, especially since I'm sitting on a rock right now. And yeah, be careful who you trust.